Millions of people spend their lives in a state of high-velocity anxiety, convinced that rapid motion is the same thing as progress. They chase capital with an aggressive desperation that rarely results in long-term security. Meanwhile, a silent few observe this race from the sidelines, building vast resources without the noise. Most of us are conditioned to survive within a linear salary model. We trade finite, irreplaceable hours for a fixed sum of currency. In this structure, income is hard-capped by the clock, leaving no room for the exponential growth required to reach true independence. This systemic dependence creates a cycle often described as mammon, a state where the requirements for basic survival demand your absolute time, your peace, and your physical health. Under this pressure, money stops being a tool and starts becoming a master. When inflation and the rising cost of living compound geometrically, while wages only grow arithmetically, the result is a treadmill that speeds up every year. Eventually, even the most disciplined worker finds themselves running harder and harder just to remain in the same place. King Solomon's estimated net worth, adjusted for the modern era, reaches nearly $2 trillion, a figure that dwarfs the combined holdings of today's most visible billionaires. He reached this level of prosperity not through wages, but through a total rejection of the linear labor model. Solomon observed that prosperity follows a strict hierarchy of wisdom, order, and stewardship. In his view, resources are attracted to the structure of a builder's mind, rather than the intensity of their desperation. This ancient blueprint for wealth suggests that financial sovereignty is a matter of alignment. By replicating his specific methods of system building, it becomes possible to transition from a dependent employee to a sovereign owner. Sustained wealth requires a prioritization of cognitive advantage. Without the wisdom to discern market cycles or hidden risks, any sudden influx of capital remains temporary. Wisdom serves as the generative engine for every future win. Functional wisdom allows a builder to see what the crowd misses, identifying obscured opportunities and subtle traps before taking action. It provides the clarity needed to succeed in environments where peers consistently fail. Protecting this clarity requires the tactical use of discretion. Announcing a plan before it is executed invites unnecessary pressure and external envy, often diluting the internal conviction required to see the project through to completion. While modern culture encourages the constant broadcasting of every ambition, the ancient strategy favors a period of private maturation. Results carry much more weight when they are revealed after the objective is already achieved. Alexander the Great conquered with the sword, creating a loud, aggressive empire that fractured the moment he was gone. Solomon built with sagacity, establishing trade routes and infrastructure that provided honor and stability for decades. Mastering the internal world, the mind and the mouth, is the foundation for any external success. Once the builder masters discretion, the focus shifts to the nature of their effort. There is a sharp difference between exhausting labor and intelligent work. The goal is to stop trading hours for dollars and start constructing systems that produce value independently. Strategic thinkers like Charlie Munger proved that the most significant returns are found in the waiting. They viewed wealth creation not as a series of frantic trades, but as the patient protection of high-value assets. This patience is anchored by a commitment to small, disciplined daily decisions. The lure of the big score or rapid scaling often leads to impulsive shortcuts that destabilize the entire financial foundation. Lasting prosperity is gathered little by little. It relies on the compounding power of unseen habits, saving, learning, and reinvesting, carried out consistently when no one is watching. John Vogel transformed the modern investment landscape by emphasizing this exact type of consistency. He demonstrated that by minimizing costs and refusing to panic during market fluctuations, an individual could achieve inevitable growth. True wealth is a mathematical outcome. It is the result of a sound structural strategy multiplied by the relentless passage of time. To protect what has been built, an owner must avoid the danger of a single point of failure. Financial resilience requires constructing multiple independent bridges of income, ensuring the household is never dependent on one source. Because different channels mature at different speeds, this diversification acts as a buffer. When one sector faces an economic disaster, the others provide the stability needed to stay standing. This outward protection is completed by the practice of strategic generosity. By intentionally circulating resources, a builder shifts their mindset from scarcity to abundance, using their wealth as a tool to create social capital and win the loyalty of their peers. Spreading risk and giving freely removes the psychological weight of greed. It transforms wealth from a source of anxiety into a mechanism for purpose, securing the builder's long-term momentum. The final requirement for lasting prosperity is a foundation of integrity. Without a sense of reverence and a mission that extends beyond personal gain, wealth eventually erodes the character of the person who created it. Sir John Templeton lived by this standard, integrating his spiritual discipline directly into his business meetings. He understood that character is a strategic asset, providing the trust and reputation necessary to sustain a generational legacy. Transitioning away from the employee mindset changes the viewer's entire perspective on the city. You are no longer a dependent unit of production. You are a sovereign steward, quietly managing your own vineyard under your own authority. True wealth is a silent construction. It proves that the most influential lives are built in the space between wisdom and discipline, where the loudest noise is the steady sound of progress.